people, welcome to Perth Watch, your horology channel, broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I have my very first Zelos or Zelos. I don't know how you pronounce it. I call it Zelos and I've heard other people call it that. This is the packaging in a wood box. It does have a slip with kind of gold leaf there, but I'm going to focus on the wood box because that's what I really like. Now, Zelos needs no introduction, I don't think. They are probably the preeminent micro brand coming out of Singapore, and they really know what they're doing. They've been around a long time and they seem to always be rather successful with their launches. So, this nice wood box as a real wood, with hinges and magnets. Spinability is actually excellent. That at least is a 4, if not a 4.5 out of 5, actually. Very well balanced. Little magnets here to hold that lid in place. And inside, you get more packaging. It is actually a travel case, which is really cool. Now this one is a little bit less practical because, you got to get the watches into there, and I'm not sure whether you really want to pack 4 into this, but anyway, that's the piece that they've provided. There is spare links in there. I removed about 4, and just to show you also the warranty card, it's actually made of metal of some form. Pretty nice, pretty nicely etched there. You can see it's a mechanism and actually been written on. Okay, so that's it, guys. This is the watch to show you guys in closer details. So this is the Zelos Swordfish 40mm in titanium, and this is the frost color variation, which really refers to that white dial there. It does come also in emerald, desert sand, salmon, slate blue. I think there's another carbon one, but that's actually sold out. But take a look at the website for more details and the options if you want to look closer. Now I'm going to try to get this out before the end of the month because there is an October launch special for $329 USD, and at that price I think this is a cracker. The full MSRP is $429. I suspect now and then they will go on sale, but even at $429, this is not entirely unreasonable. $329, I think, really it's a cracker, and we'll get into that. All right, so first up, as always, guys, let's talk about movement. So in here, we have none other than the Seiko NH35A. You probably could have guessed it. It might have been nice if they gave a Miyota 9015, but it is an NH35A. At the lower launch price, it is actually not too bad. Stats down the left there, you can see in use, this is running just a smidgen slow, -2 seconds per day. The date window in this case is at the 6 o'clock position. It is black writing on white disc, but at least they have swapped that disc out to be able to display the date at the 6 o'clock position. I don't mind that. It just keeps the symmetry on the dial. Perhaps, I guess a darker date wheel to match those dark indices may have been nice. Right, guys, let's talk about the case here. This is a 40mm diameter case. The thickness is actually pretty good for a diver style here. 12.2mm stick to the top of the crystal there. The lugs, of course, you can guess it, 20mm for this case. And the lug distance, which is, again, pretty pleasing in that they've kept it pretty short and down turning. So it's 46mm between my thumbs there, which is pretty good. That's actually a very compact size, which I mostly like rather than those huge 50mm distances you sometimes see. Overall weight, this is titanium. It's 115 gram, very light. For a metal bracelet watch, this is almost as light as it gets, and it's very comfortable. Almost possible to forget it's on your wrist, despite the fact that it's a metal bracelet. Finishing. They've actually, titanium, very difficult to polish. So they've gone for a combination of brush and matte, and that applies to the bezel. So in between those dips there is matte finishing. And then, what we have on the case, circular brushing at the top, circular brushing at the bottom surface of the lugs. Hopefully that's visible to you guys. And they've gone for vertical brushing for the size, and that includes that surface between the lugs there. Pleasingly, they've got a pretty nice bevel hopefully you can see that there is a bevel, actually not that part, but that bottom bevel there is matte, and then the inner surface of the lug here, that bevel, that 45-degree bevel, is also a matte finish, which is pretty nice. You know, I like that they've interspersed the matte in their kind of more sandblast look here. Going down to the bottom, we're having a stamped polish finish on that swordfish there, so presumably that's actually a steel case back, and most of the time you do have to put a real steel case back against titanium, because otherwise you get this fusing effect, in which case the case back might not be able to be taken off anymore. But you know, circular brushing, kind of a matte kind of feel there with that polish swordfish, which is pretty nice looking. Could do with more detail because there's more real estate on the back there, but you know, it is what it is. So solid screw down case back, screw down sign crown in this dive watch gives you 200 meter water rating is what they've gone for. Right, focusing in on the dial now. So what we have here is a matte white dial, printed details all around, including the chapter ring in the periphery. It's kind of offset by the baby blue in the 200 meter down the bottom there, which matches the baby blue seconds hand, which has a loom pip. The main hands are black polished baton style hands, and again, you know, baby blue on the seconds hand there. The indices are sandwich style, so they actually do indent into the dial. I'm not sure whether it's a true sandwich dial, but definitely there is a three-dimensionality to this, where the indices are actually sunken into the dial. Nice effect there. I quite like the detail that they put into this dial. Loom wise is pretty great. It's got a BGW9 for the dial, so it's a full loom dial, and it's got C3X1. So there's very dark colors on the indices. There's dark gray, actually are C3X1, and a full loom bezel to give you a rather unique loom signature, which of course I will show you this. When you first charge this, it can almost light your way in the dark. It's that bright, and it does glow through the night, no problem at all. Okay, so surrounding the dial is a 120 click unidirectional dive style bezel, a full loom ceramic insert. I've shown you the loom shot earlier, and let's just hear it. 5. So very firm, you know, pretty much no backplay, pretty well done construction here by Zelos, I have to say. Okay, let's just get it back to 12 o'clock for you guys. Okay, on top of the dial is a flat sapphire crystal internal anti-reflective coating, which is actually not bad, as you know, you look at it straight and you really, very difficult to see any reflections at all. Pretty well done anti-reflective coating. Moving on to the bracelet then. So this is, you know, not oyster, right? It's 3-piece per link, but it's its own thing. I guess a slightly engineered style, 3-piece per link, brushed titanium, solid end links with quick release bars that you can see there. And they've given screw adjusts, which I always like. And these screws are pretty well done. They're smooth, there's no catching, pretty well done screws here. It does taper from 20 to 18 millimeters. It's got a 21 millimeter wide machined push button release clasps with 6 points on the micro adjust there. So, you know, nothing much more I can ask for here. I guess a dive extension might be nice in a dive style watch. So that's it, guys. Click it on the wrist for the wrist shot for you guys now. And there we have it, the Zelos Swordfish 40mm on my 17 centimeter wrist. Remember, only 12.2 on the thickness there, pretty good. And that lug to lug of 46 will fit almost any guy. Actually, all guys I know will carry this watch pretty well, you know, dive style watch. And that's how it looks like with that titanium bracelet, and, you know, nicely done finishing as well. It's got that, you know, Z sign there for Zelos. So guys, that's it. That's the description. What have I enjoyed about this? I think this is a well done original. Now, original is such a difficult thing for micro brands, but I don't think this is copying anything, at least not directly, not that I know of. Original design, so well done on that. A titanium diver from the preeminent Singapore micro brand at a price that is a bit of a killer at the launch price of $329, you know, for a titanium watch. for all the specs that it gives you, I reckon it's very, very fair. Great details, right? So it's got the full loom, sandwich style dial. It's got C3X1. They've got in their hands on C3X1 for the other loom. It's got that inner cog ring on the bezel, something I haven't pointed out yet. But if you look around the glass, between the glass and the black ceramic insert is a bit of a cog detail there, which is part of the case, which is good. You know, that's really quite good that there's that detail there. Just little thoughtful things. It's got that matte finishing interspersed with brushing, which is good. You know, I think they've put in some work to get that. And an original style bracelet, which doesn't look like typical Chinese OEM. It still might be Chinese OEM, but at least it is different to other stuff that I've seen, not so common. And overall, a very competent package, right? Nothing wrong with it. Seiko movement, sapphire crystal, ceramic insert, full 200-meter water resistant rating, you know, screws on the bracelet, quick release bars for the bracelet changing, and a pretty solid clasp. Nothing wrong at all, you know, very competent. So where does that leave me in terms of weaknesses? Nothing much to say, you know, I really don't have much to complain about. In a utilitarian dive style watch, jeweled lugs might be good. I can see how it might be difficult to implement it on such compact lugs, but look, jeweled lugs would make it more utilitarian and will be welcomed by many, many people. I think the case back, I guess if I was going to complain about things, you know, not the strongest case back motif, not the deepest and most beautiful one, and they could have used a little bit more of that real estate to give us something more artful. So, you know, just a minor gripe here and there, but overall, really, I'm nitpicking. This is really a very good product and testament to Zelos' experience in the market here. So there you go, guys. My thoughts on this Zelos Swordfish 40mm in titanium. Let's flip it around now for the wrap up. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that quick fire review. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Always look forward to the discussion from my viewers. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. New content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys again next time.